Hey guys, thanks for joining me for the third match here with Jeskai Geist. Looks like we won the die roll, and we would like to play first. And this hand is pretty good. We can either go turn 1 Serum Visions or turn 1 Colonnade. I'm inclined to go Colonnade just to make sure that I can play Geist on curve. And I don't know what I'm against here, so I don't know even what I'm looking for with Serum Visions. Alright, looks like basic island, sleight of hand, interesting. This could be some sort of taking turns deck. Not 100% sure. With that said, I'm going to keep up Remand for something like Howling Mine. Sleight of hand. I think I'm going to say okay to that, actually. Reason being, I know now they can't have a spell that can stop Geist. Let's go ahead and get a Steam Vents here. That way we have double white, double red, and all the blue in the world that we will need. Alright, Geist, lead the way. Still don't know what I'm looking for with Serum Visions. I haven't seen enough of my opponent's deck yet. Just 2 sleight of hands. They could be some sort of weird combo deck. But I guess we'll find out soon. Steam Vents. Okay, so this could be some sort of blue-red Delver. Storm? Oh my gosh, how did I not think of Storm? Yeah, I forgot about Storm. Huh. Okay, we'll see what they can pull off here. Electromancer into another ritual. Another ritual, sure. Dang, they're going off here. This is cool. This might be a turn 3 kill here, right? Past in Flames, yep. Okay, all right. Probably should have had that on my radar. My hope is that they just don't have the kill in hand yet, and they're digging for it. But a gift ungiven would be pretty bad here. Yeah, they have plenty of mana, 9 mana. They have 2 more times to look for Grape Shot if they don't have it already. And now they have gifts. Okay. So gifts puts us in a tough position. Now they already have a Past in Flames in the graveyard, so they could easily just flash it back. But I think that's what I want to do. Force them to have to flash back Past in Flames. I cannot give them Grape Shot to their hand. Okay. Yeah, if I give them Grape Shot to hand, that's basically it. However, with those rituals, I mean, I think I have to bin it. And question is mana? I think I want to bin those 2. Now they can still go Past in Flames. They can still go ritual, go again with Past in Flames, flash it back, and then they can Grape Shot. So Storm counts 11. Yeah, I think they can get it here. They just need, yeah, they're fine here. There's ritual. Whew. No, we may have not brought enough storm hate today. Yep, there goes Passion Flames in the graveyard. I'm gonna go ahead and let them do their thing, just to make sure they know what they're doing. But storm count is gonna be about 16, then they can Grape Shot me for lethal. But if they show me more of their deck, not that this is just probably standard Storm. I got thrown off by like the polluted Delta Island. I should have had a more heads up approach to that. This whole game, I was so focused on turn 3 Geist that Storm uninterrupted just easily gets the turn 3 kill sometimes. All right, so let's begin sideboarding. Dispel, negate. No wear tears. We get Stony Silence in here. Sorry, Rest in Peace in here. Not Stony Silence. Electrolyze seems pretty poor here. Counter spells in general are okay, but these are a little bit expensive. So I'm going to cut one Cryptic. Geist is still really important into actually closing out the game. We just have to play a little smarter with it. So we can probably cut one Helix and just play like an aggro deck here. I don't think Verdict is... I mean, actually, if they go for the empty the Warrens, we may want Is It Staticaster over maybe one... Helix removes their creatures, though. That's the thing. Logic not as important. Cut one Geist, maybe? Even though it's important for our... It's so important for our clock, though. I don't think I can cut Geist. I think I have to cut one more Helix, and then Is It Staticaster at least doesn't leave us too vulnerable against Empty the Warrens. Alright, yes, we would like to play first. No hate in this hand, but it's a decent hand as it is, so we can kill their Barals or Electromancers. We have Spell Snare to counter them as well. We also have Spell Snare to counter Rituals. We're probably looking for Remand to counter their... I'm actually getting Island here because they often play Blood Moon out of the board. Remand is good. Staticaster, less good. So that's the way we're going to play that. But yeah, they play Blood Moon out of the board, and they can sometimes just power it out turn 2. So I'm going to go ahead and just play the Colonnade. Now we have Spell Snare up here. We'll be able to have Snap Snare up as well as Remand soon. Of course, it would be nice to have a proactive threat going, but we'll take what we can get here. All right, so they don't run it out or anything if they have one. Okay, in case, yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead. In case they play Blood Moon, I'll play the Flooded Strand. Okay, so they're playing slow here. So without like see when I used to play Delver, it would be nice because I could just play turn 1 threat and then keep up my counter magic. But with a deck like this and we don't put pressure on them, it can be pretty tough. Here I'll just go ahead and fetch. I'll probably get a just get a Steam Vent. I know I wanted a red source, I just wasn't sure. Scalding Tarn. We'll go ahead and play it. We may start sending Burn upstairs just to try to close out this game. And then maybe do some sort of Snap Bolt. Alright, so I'm not too afraid of Blood Moon anymore after they fetched up their fountain. Serum Visions, sure. It's not something I want to fight over. Now I could go Bolt, Snap, Bolt here if they tap out. For whatever reason. Alright, they're going bottom bottom, which is a good sign for us. Pyretic Ritual. That'll draw out my Spell Snare. Yeah, I'm fine Spell Snaring that. That could be a bluff because they have too many cards in hand. Interesting, no land. So I'm gonna go ahead and Bolt here. Not playing out Snapcaster Mage or anything. Alright, let's think here. I want to be able to go Snap Remand maybe, or should I just sit back a little bit longer? I think let's craft our hand a bit. Let's go ahead and bottom top. Do we want to be able to go Snare plus Bolt? Sure. I don't think the opportunity cost is pretty high. Oh, sorry, the opportunity, the cost is pretty low. So I don't think that 2 damage from Steam Vents is going to particularly do much against us. And having Remand in hand here will be pretty helpful if they try to go for a Past in Flames. The issue here is if I go Snap, Spell Snare, they may go land another ritual. Still though, I think I'm gonna go ahead and Spell Snare that, just so I can also have a creature on the board. I think it's going to be pretty difficult for them to go off this turn. Yeah. So that's why I felt comfortable making a play like that. We'll go ahead and start with the Serum Visions. Negate, Remand, top. I'll just go ahead and shock myself here. I think this might be a matchup we can win because they're stuck on lands. And the fact is they just have to keep like sorcery speed these. Alright, so there's a land. Game's different now. Game's much different. Now they have Gifts mana, they have Past in Flames mana. They can do a whole bunch of things. And we just have to be careful. Our clock is a 6-turn clock. We know what we're drawing for the next 2 turns. Wow, that's... I'm going to go ahead and negate that. I don't want to remand it back to their hand. Alright, we'll go in for the attack here. And now we're basically remanding anything. I mean, they could even Grape Shot the Snapcaster Mage. I feel like that's still a victory, though. Metamorphose, sure. That's not a card I want to aggressively remand against. Especially because they're not generating mana. They're just... It's a free cantrip, basically. Now if they have Empty the Warrens, though, now they have Baral. Baral is boltable. I think we're going to let that resolve. We could have remanded it, but I don't think that's a winning line. I think we're better off bolting the Baral here and remanding anything else that they might play. Like a Ritual. And this will force our opponent to play any interaction they may have right now. This Hall of Fountain is actually hurting them. They probably have another ritual that they'd like to cast in response here, but they can't. So if this resolves, I will likely remand the Desperate Ritual. Maybe I shouldn't, actually. Maybe I should just let them have that mana. What are they going to do with that mana? Remand? Remand my Bolt. I will... Actually, yeah, I will remand my Lightning Bolt. And then Lightning Bolt it again. And this way, this denies them the draw off of the remand, even though it uses up a little bit more mana. And now that resolves. And now if they want to go all in with another ritual here, Grape Shot. Yeah, I mean, one to Snapcaster Mage. Let's see how they, because we could remand one of the copies if they don't send enough at. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, so they played the actual Grape Shot itself at Snapcaster Mage, so I don't think I'm going to remand that. Because that will give them Grape Shot back to their hand, and that is a losing proposition, in my opinion. Apologize for the lag here. Alright, there goes our Snapcaster Mage. Opponent empties their pool. And Cryptic Command is not a bad draw. I mean, we're still in this game. Maybe I should have countered that ritual at the end. It's possible I should have countered that ritual. It's hard to tell sometimes when you're supposed to counter the ritual. Empty the Warrens. I will go ahead and counter that. Like I said, I don't want that going back into their hand. Scalding Tarn, let's see. We can rev up Colonnade. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and still keep up. Let's go ahead and let's try to get them dead as soon as possible. We can still keep up. We can still keep up remand. Whoops. Wait, yeah, that's fine. Say attack. And this puts him dead next turn. With a Lightning Helix, of course. So if they don't go off right now in their main phase. Empty the Warrens, that's what? That's 2 Goblins? That's fine. That is a lot of Empty the Warrens, though. Alright, so they conceded there. Yeah, so we definitely saw a lot of Empty the Warren that we may have to grind through. I still think the battle is done before Empty. Like, you know. It might be correct to bring in 1 Supreme Verdict. However, I think Path and Bolt and Helix and cards like that, they're so important in stopping early Electromancers and things like that. So I think we just run it back. I think we have a pretty good setup here. We just played a good old-fashioned burn game there. And now we have Rest in Peace, we have Bolt turn 1, and we have Geist, we have Remand. This is a pretty good opener, I would say. I would be happy to keep this. It's definitely not an insta-win. You know, Rest in Peace is not like an insta-win like it is against Dredge. They can still fight through it with rituals in hand into like an Empty the Warrens. But I think if they're mulliganing, this hand is probably going to be pretty strong. Excuse me. Okay. Looks like they don't have any turn 1 cantrip, which is nice. We're going to lead with Spire Bluff Canal. Just to be able to bolt our opponent's Electromancer if they play one. Alright, there's Sleight of Hand. This makes me feel comfortable that at least Rest in Peace will resolve, and I won't eat like a remand or something like that, because that's like worst case scenario. And then they like turn 3 combo, you know, that's... Alright. Alright. Great, we have our lands lined up for the next few turns. I'm actually going to go ahead and go... Hollowed Fountain, we do have Cryptic Command in our deck. Let's just go Rest in Peace. It shuts off Snapcaster Mage, but it also hurts them a ton. Alright. Good thing about online is you can't forget your triggers. I remember seeing a tournament one time, you know, the guy forgot his Rest in Peace trigger. That's just unfortunate. But if we can make it to next turn and not die, we're in a very good position. So we're F6 here. That might give away that we don't have surgical, but of course with rest in peace and play, surgical doesn't do anything. But if our opponent can cobble up a kill here with no graveyard, I will... Hats off to my opponent, basically. That's not easy to do. It will take an Electromancer into rituals, into gifts. They could also just to simply play land, play ritual, play empty the warrens. Which is probably what they're doing, yeah. So now they have a bunch of things. Bunch of things that are hard to beat sometimes. Question is, do we want to go... We want to race them, basically. We could just play Geist, or we could flash in a Queller to block. That's 6 of them, right? So considering... Alright, we're just going to go ahead and bolt here. And we'll probably flash in Snapcaster Mage to block one of the goblins. Yep, we'll flash in Snapcaster Mage here. Try to minimize our life loss. Empty the Warrens is a good card. Maybe we didn't bring in enough hate for it. Alright, negate doesn't do much here. Now what happens if we just flash in Spell Queller? That turns the clock a little bit slower. What happens if we go Geist here, though? Do we die? I don't think we die. We do want to close out this game, but it's a 4-turn clock, and their goblins are faster. So maybe I just want to flash in Spell Queller here. And just block profitably. That's another land. Another Empty the Warrens here would just probably be game over if we don't draw Is It Staticaster. There's a bit of rain, so I apologize if you can hear that in the background. Yeah, Empty the Warrens here would be really, really painful. Alright, just an Electromancer. Could be worse, right? Or not. Or Grape Shot, is that lethal? Okay, so they're going for 1 for the 2 spells cast before that, sure. I'm just actually gonna... yeah, so this game was actually, this was close, because they really needed that Empty the Warrens, and they had it. I saw last game, they played 3 Empty the Warrens, so maybe I really should have sideboarded a little bit more aggressively against them. Alright. 1 at my face, 2 at... Alright, there goes Spell Queller. I think I'll go ahead and fetch here. We're dead to a lot of things. If we don't play Geist, like I said, we're basically dead, so... I think we're going to go ahead and trade with the Goblin Electromancer if they offer it up. And then our only out really is it Staticaster from this point. Yep, our opponent's just going to go ahead and cantrip there. I mean, we're pretty dead here. We didn't set up a clock fast enough, and they just got there first. Yeah, probably attacking with everything here. Like I said, play to our outs, our only outs, which is at Staticaster. I guess Lightning Helix isn't game over either. Alright, we still in it. Still in it to win it, right? And now we're dead. In case they don't see the line, As much as I love Geist, it's very hard to beat go wide decks like this with Geist, you know. So let's see if they go for it. If they go for lethal. And dang, they saw the line. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. That was actually a pretty close game, pretty fun game to watch and play, in my opinion. So hopefully you enjoyed that. And stay tuned for the 4th round. And I'll see you soon. Alright, guys, I know this is a little abrupt, but I do want to let you know that I was an idiot. And when I was uploading my recorded videos of matches 4 and 5 to my Google Drive, I went ahead and actually deleted them as well. So those are gone, and I do apologize. I know this was supposed to be a 5-match video, but we're just going to jump straight into the closing statements right now. And I do apologize for that, and I will try to make it up for you, as I do have something in the works that will hopefully give you guys more content to watch in general as time goes on. But I'll get into that when that video comes, which should be either the day this comes out or the next day. So with that said, let's talk about the deck. So obviously what you guys just saw was the loss to Storm, and the fact that we got turn 3'd on in game 1 definitely changed things. How we approach that matchup, and I think in general it's not such a bad matchup. We just have to be careful. And that was actually the only match we lost in this league. So what's so great about Geist is that it's proactive. And it's very difficult to hate with all the Fatal Push and stuff like that running around right now. So we were able to beat Jund, we were able to beat Affinity, we lost to Storm, but the 2 matches that you guys missed was Death Shadow, Grixis, and Burn. So we were able to beat Death Shadow Grixis in a close game 3. Unfortunately, we won game 1 through a few Geist hits and some Burn. And then we lost game 2 because we didn't see white mana, so we kept a 1-lander, 2 Serum Visions with Island, and then we found another Island with Serum Visions, and then we never saw another land until it was too late, basically, at that point. So we just had to keep discarding Lightning Helixes from our hands and stuff, and it was just so bad. We were just sitting on 2 islands with a bunch of white spells and red spells, and even a Geist in hand. So it was not the best, but game 3 we ended up winning similar fashion to game 1, where we just played a Geist early. They took one with a Thoughtseize, we played another one, and then we just kind of rode it to victory with Path to Exiles and stuff like that, which is how the matchup normally goes. We didn't see any of our sideboard hate for it, but I still think cards like Supreme Verdict, Blessed Alliance are pretty good in that matchup. And then against Burn was usually the matchup is very lopsided in our favor because of Lightning Helixes and Snapcaster Mages. Game 1 was pretty close because we didn't see any Lightning Helixes, but Geist was able to race off of being on the play with Lightning Bolt to stop their creature. We were able to remand their Eidolon, and then we landed a Geist and rode it to victory. Game 2, our opponent was on the play, but we saw, I think, either 2 or 3 Helixes, as well as 1 Snapcaster Mage. So it was very difficult for our opponent to come back from that, and that's what's so great about this deck, is the Burn matchup is really, really solid. It's still, it's not 100%, obviously, but it's close. It's up there because of all our Helixes and Snapcaster Mages, but that's not to say that they can't run away with a game. They can definitely do that, but it's rare. But yeah, those are the matches that you guys missed in a nutshell. I do apologize for that. They weren't that interesting matchups, so I wouldn't feel bad. But anyways, let's talk about the deck. What did I like about it? What I didn't like about it? I definitely liked the Burn package. This deck is aggressive and it wants to kill our opponents. I liked Spell Queller, kind of. In one of the Death Shadow matchups, they were able to Fatal Push it and then cast their Thoughtseize, and so it kind of just felt like against a lot of the decks in the format, they will have removal. And then they haven't used that removal anytime else during the game because you have threats like Geist and Snapcaster Mage that don't draw removal. And so then they have a Path to Exile or Fatal Push sitting in hand, and Spellqueller is just going to get it. So I'm not sure if Spellqueller is the correct choice, or at least not main deck. But it did have its moments, as you saw in that Jund matchup, game 1 or match 1. So I definitely think it's not a bad card, but I think it should be. We could consider playing other things. Definitely like the 2 spell snares. Basically, this whole setup here, aside from Remand, so basically I would say these are the flex spots. I would even say that Electrolyze is not a flex spot. Electrolyze just being 2 damage, draw a card. Versatility is really, really helpful. Even Cryptic Command, I would say, is not a flex spot. Tapping down your opponent's team is essential sometimes, and just having a late game counter draw lets us act like Jeskai Control. So I would say in general, these are the 6 flex spots, and they should all be counter spells of some sort, probably. Yeah, you could go for a more burn heavy approach, like 2 more Electrolyze. I think that's a little greedy. I definitely think you want heavy turn 2 interaction, whether that be Logic Knots or Remands or Mana Leaks or something like that. This slot should definitely be going towards countering what your opponent is doing, because we are playing blue, and there's a lot of benefits to be playing blue, and that's sometimes these cheap tempo base counter spells. So that's my thoughts on the deck. I hope you enjoyed the videos. You know, it's Jeskai Geist is a great deck, but it's also very meta dependent. And as you saw, like running into Jund match 1, even as Jund is so low, like that's one of the reasons why I stopped playing Geist, because Jund was such a very popular deck. Even Obzon and Liliana the Veil was everywhere. And it's just very demoralizing to be playing a deck that's so based around dodging removal, but your opponent's playing main deck sacrifice effects. So that's not to say we can't win, because we did win, but it's I would say that it's an uphill battle for sure. So we just have to make sure that, you know, if we're jamming Geist, we're jamming it in the correct metagame, because a lot of the time that's what's important, reading the meta and seeing what's good for it. And if you're a hardcore blue player, hopefully you have access to trying out different builds. I do think Geist is a great sideboard card too, so I think, you know, Jeskai Control possibly, with more maybe sweepers, could be strong as well, and have like 3 Geists in the board. You could also do that. But it's all very meta dependent. And so yeah, take that for what it is. Hopefully you enjoyed the 3 matches you were able to watch. And soon, in the next day or today or 2 days or whatever, there's going to be a new series out for you guys, where I take a look at a deck that gets very rarely any play. It's extremely fringe. And I'm going to try it out for you guys. And hopefully you'll enjoy it. It's still competitive, still modern. So yeah, hopefully you guys will stay tuned for that. And thanks so much for watching. And stay tuned for next video soon. Bye-bye.